After the last video, I got the headlights out. Those come out really easy. Just a tab you push in and the lever pushes up and it releases the headlight. And as expected, the wiring on these things, I don't really understand what they did, but I'll figure it out eventually. But the red wire that was running across the front, something to do to turning the headlights on, and the yellow and black wire that's been cut. Not really sure what that was for. On this side, there's a white wire that was cut. The half-ass connector crimped on. So, good reasons the headlights didn't work. Figure out where this red wire goes eventually. I think it goes down to the fog lights. Goes down somewhere. Okay, red wire doesn't go anywhere. So the headlights weren't even hooked up to anything. So they didn't work. And apparently the roof needs a complete circuit to go up and down. And I think since I removed all the stuff on the windshield header, there's some kind of computer plugged in here. It had a warning sign that the top was down, not locked. So it doesn't work at all now. Have to do it manually. And I originally thought these were the window switches, or the window motors, but these are the locks to lock the top. One on each side. There's apparently 6 bolts that hold those on. And I will test them before I list them, but pretty sure they work. I just didn't have the top down all the way. You can see here that the what am I doing here? This red string that I didn't know what was for is a release for the motor. So that's going to be a manual process now, but I'm going to take all that out. Like I said, I'll test it before I list it. But I'm going to pull these speakers out. I'm not really sure about all this wiring. I'm guessing that's for the window motor back here. Hopefully there's a plug back there. But I'm not really interested in keeping those. I just want to be able to get to the window. Not really sure what this is yet. There's one on this side too. And these are the roll bars. Kind of doubt they're worth anything, so if the car rolls over, no one's going to be fixing it. But I'll pull them out anyways, just to have them. So, we're back at it again. I'll be back. I started looking at these speakers. Looks like this has been out before. Some of them are bolts, some of them are Phillips screws. You get to this side, and they're all Torx. Looks like they should be. So I don't know what's Maybe they had to take this out to get the fix a window. This whole car is been hacked up. Whoever's been working on it really had no idea what they were doing. Kind of frustrating. But whatever. We'll get it apart and scrap it and move on to the next one. I got the speakers out. Driver's side had all the factory bolts in it, the Torx bolts, and a good seal on the surround. Passenger side had nuts and screws, and there's no seal left on it. Well, I guess the seal's still here. Part of it. Big plug just lifted off the window motor. Didn't even seem to be clipped on. It's a big plug for only 4 wires. So I'm going to try to push this wire through this grommet and get rid of these speakers, get them out of the way, and see how these windows come out. I'm going to take these off too, roof locks. Should be able to get to everything back here now. What's that? That's the other lens for the mirror. Interesting. Good spot for it. So that's next. Take these things out. I got the passenger side off. And for these, there's 6 bolts. There's 3 back here, going in this way, and 3 here. 2 back here, and 1 right here. And this plug, it's like all the others, squeeze it, comes out. Get all the screws out. Just drop down. See, there's these 3. They're going back here. 1, 2, 3. And then going this way. 1, 2, 3. Surprisingly, got all 6 bolts. They're all 6 factory. Doesn't look like anyone's messed with that yet. So that was good. So there's the 2 roof locks. Should have brought my pen to mark them left and right, but I'll be able to figure it out. Not really sure what's holding the windows in, but I might take a look at that next. Getting there. Before I start pulling the windows out, just want to get a video, make sure they work. Make sure the switch still works. Oh, of course I don't, because I unplugged it. Hold on. Now maybe? There's 1. There's 1. Driver's door. Passenger, driver's door. And the button, all of them at once. So they all work. Switch works. Looks like all the mechanism for the top is going to be in the way of taking the windows out, but I'll get on YouTube and take a look. Well, that was a little harder than I thought it was going to be. YouTube makes it look easy. Of course, always. So, on the glass, I'm supposed to have a special tool, but I did it without it. On the glass, there's 3 bolts near the front. Supposedly you only have to loosen them. Kind of looks like you only have to loosen them, but I didn't even touch that front one, so there's those 3 bolts on the glass. And on this there's 3 bolts. But this was a real pain in the ass to get past the this section here. It didn't fit. I'll pull this off. Had to pull this off. How did this go? This piece went in here like that. Had to pull that out. This rubber went on this side. Had to pull that out. And since I wanted to keep it, I went ahead and took the chrome off. So I didn't want that getting screwed up. That just clips on, so no big deal. So there's one side out. Just a bunch of emptiness back there now. Not going to worry about the seat belts. Like I said in another video, you can get those for 50 bucks new for the whole set. But it's not worth, after shipping and eBay fees, you might get $5-10 bucks for them. Not worth it. So there's one side out. So the 3 nuts you have to take out for the window are not towards the front, they're at the bottom. There's one here, one here, and one here. 2 of them 10mm, and the bottom one is 13. They say you need a special tool for it, but I don't have a special tool and it's coming off just fine, so that's where we're at on this side. Well, this one came out a little different. You really have to take the glass off. I started to and then decided to take the whole thing out. So there's 2 nuts down here. Those are covered by little drain plug grommet type things. And this, 3 mounting points for this whole mechanism, and it comes out. Of course I had to take this piece off, goes in here, and this rubber that goes on the outside. As far as I could tell, this rubber just clipped on. Looks like it should have been screwed at one point, but guessing somebody else had it off and didn't bother putting screws back in. This thing had a whole pile of bolts. Most 10mm, 2 are Torx. But I guess that's the alignment for this whole mechanism, because it screws in up here. That's how you adjust it. Or one of the ways you adjust it. So this whole thing came out in one piece. You don't have to take the glass off. Lesson learned. Started ripping out more of the plastic on the dash just to see what was underneath, and found a rat's nest. Luckily nothing living there. But there's some kind of control module there. Some kind of control module there. I get those when I don't need to move it anymore. I can start ripping all that shit out. One thing I found interesting, taking the plastic out along the windshield, also removed the VIN. So that's just on a piece of plastic. I'm sure there's, I shouldn't say I'm sure, but I'm guessing it's stamped somewhere on the, maybe under the hood, but for anyone running a real chop shop, all you have to do is replace a piece of plastic and they make it easy. Actually, I'm going to go look under the hood now, just make sure. Yeah, I also found it's all on this sticker here that doesn't look like it comes off too easy, so if you start taking that off, you're going to have problems, but at least the numbers match. So that's going to be it for this one. It's getting warm out again. Good progress though. Got the back is pretty much empty. Guessing the fuel pump is underneath that. Don't know if I want to take the fuel pump. I know I want to pump the gas out of it and keep that. It has almost a full tank. Not doing much else with the dash until I get it outside and put it up on blocks. Once it's on blocks, then I can start, I won't have to move it again. I can start taking everything out. Been trying to save the wire harness. Well, don't know if it's worth a shit, but especially with everything going on the driver's side. Never did figure out what all this stuff is. It goes up to this. This has been, all this shit's been butchered. So I might not even worry about the wire harness. Been trying to unplug everything as I go, but I should have been just cutting it. Would have been easier. So, anyway, that's it for this one. See you next time.